Picking up from last time, I decided to lay a base coat on the body using some Tamiya XF19 Sky Gray. I decided to do this because I wanted to know how smooth the body was, and doing this would allow me to see all the imperfections that were present and I wouldn't be able to see without there being paint on the body. I hit the body with one coat of the Sky Gray, and after spraying that onto the body, I started to see a whole bunch of uneven spots, so I sanded the body down smooth using some 1000 grit sandpaper, and this is what it looked like. With the body being mostly smooth, I could move over to laying a base coat on the body using Tamiya LP11 Silver. I sprayed one base coat on the body at around 15 psi and did a relatively light coat, but still went for full coverage. With the base coat out of the way, we can move over to trying to replicate the lavender that's on Borges BRZ. I first laid Tamiya TS37 lavender onto the body using a spray can. The reason behind doing this is the body still had some imperfections, some uneven spots that I just could not get out, and the spray paint sprays a whole lot heavier than airbrush, so using an improper method, I kind of used that to fill up those holes in the body. I sprayed 2 coats, and after that the body was perfectly smooth. Moving over to recreate the lavender that's on Borges BRZ, I took a mixture of Tamiya Pearl White lacquer and Tamiya Purple acrylic. Now, some people say that you're not supposed to mix lacquer and acrylic, but as you can see, the paint is coming out perfectly fine. Nevertheless, I hit the body with 3 coats, the first one being the lightest, but still going for full coverage. After this first coat, I decided to go ahead and darken the paint just a little bit so it can be more relative to Borges' color. Moving over to the second coat, as you can see, the paint is a little bit darker than the first coat, and plus I did go for full coverage on this coat. For the third and final coat, I made sure that every spot was fully covered in this purple lavender mixture, and I also sprayed this coat the heaviest. I let the body dry for 48 hours, masked it off, and then moved over to painting the roof black. After letting the body dry for another day, this is what it is looking like. Before we can clear coat the body, a few decals need to be thrown onto it, starting with this duckbill. On Chris Borges BRZ, the duckbill is carbon fiber. So taking some carbon fiber from Scale Motorsports, I laid that onto the duckbill, used some micro set to get it to sit, and then cut off the excess using an X-Acto knife. After adding the third brake light and repeating for the other side of the duckbill, this is the finished product. Before clear coating the body, I wanted to take care of the chassis as most of it was already assembled whenever it came in the package. So to save time, I went ahead and detailed everything by adding paint, and now we could move over to assembly. Fortunately, the chassis on Chris Borges BRZ is white, as the color that's on the car is wrap and not paint. Therefore, it makes it a whole lot easier for me because I don't have to paint this chassis. With the chassis out of the way, we can move over to finishing up the engine bay. Unfortunately, I accidentally made the mistake of painting this lavender instead of leaving it white, as the Chris Borges engine bay is white. Nevertheless, it's a small detail and everything else fit perfectly. With the engine bay and the chassis being fully detailed and out of the way, we can move over to detailing and assembling the wheels and the tires. The face of the wheels need to be painted pearl white, while the tires need to be painted matte black. With airbrushing out of the way, we can move over to hand painting the barrel of the wheel using a paintbrush and some Tamiya silver. With that major portion out of the way, I moved over to assembling the wheels and the tires and then glued them all into one piece. Then, following that, I threw the brake rotors and the calipers onto the backs of the wheels. Each individual bolt on the wheel needed to be painted black, so taking a toothpick and some Tamiya black, I carefully painted all the bolts. Last but not least, to wrap up these wheels, the center lug nuts needed to be painted chrome, so taking a Molotow liquid chrome pen, I carefully detailed those. Then I could throw the wheels onto the car and wrap up this portion of this build. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Deuces.